Hello guys, I'm Christopher from CMM with the camera sample video about the Maze Alpha. So this Tri-Bezel-Less phone boasts a dual rear camera based on a 13 megapixel Samsung S5K3 L8 sensor and a secondary 5 megapixel Galaxy Core GC5025 sensor. The main sensor has an aperture of f2.2. And the front sensor, which is located down here in the lower right edge, is a 5 megapixel Sony IMX135 sensor with f2.8 aperture. So before we are having a look at samples shot on the Maze Alpha, let's have a look at the camera application. And this one is basically the very same camera app as we already know it from the Douchi Mix. So when we started, we are in the normal photo mode, which of course operates in single camera mode. Now on top of the camera application, we have some basic controls for the LED flash. We can switch between automatic, always on and off. We can also switch between the front and the rear camera. And we can also open up the options here using the three dots button. Here we can enable HDR mode, which is the only mode available here. And we can also disable GPS location, face detection. We can change the preview size from 16:9 to 4:3. And we can also change the resolution from 1 megapixels up to 13 megapixels. And we also can set a self timer. Then we also have a video mode available, which looks exactly the same, just the color of the shutter button changes, and the settings available here are again GPS location, video quality, which changes the resolution from up to 1080p until down to 144p, and we can also change the microphone settings from on to off, so if it's off, it doesn't record any audio. Then we have a face beauty feature, which is supposed to make your skin more beautiful. Then we have the blur mode, which is a dual camera mode for bokeh shots, but you shouldn't expect too much from it, because what it does is to draw an unsharp circle around the object you want to focus on. What you can do there is to change the size of this circle, as you can see here, and you can also change the intensity of the blur or bokeh effect. So it's just that very simple, cheap dual camera that isn't of that much use actually. Then we also have a monochrome mode, which of course does black and white pictures, but as there is no native monochrome sensor, it's just that normal black and white mode that pretty much every phone supports. Then we also have a mode for panorama pictures, also something pretty much any phone has. And something more interesting is the Pro mode, but it's just a very basic one. You can set the focus and exposure time manually. So next, let's check out some of the pictures I took with the Maze Alpha. And let's first start with some low light samples that all have been taken using the LED flash. So this one has been taken using the LED flash, and this one has been taken without the LED flash in the very same lighting conditions. And the only light source in there was the screen of my iMac. So as you probably see, the picture without flash somehow does look a little bit better for some reason. To me it kind of looks like the picture with LED flash is a little blurred and shows more noise, whereas the picture without the LED flash is sharper, but it also has some noise, but not as much, which is kind of strange. Now this one has been taken using the LED flash as well. As you can see, the LED flash is pretty bright. This one has been taken in total darkness with no other light source, so it creates a decent amount of light. But again, the picture is kinda blurry, not much detail, and again a lot of noise. So the camera obviously doesn't like bad lighting conditions at all. This one also with the LED flash in total darkness with no other light source. Again, lots of noise, not so much detail. So the Maze Alpha for sure isn't a phone you can take great low light pictures with. Oh, and also it has one little bug when using the LED flash. Sometimes the camera triggers too late, which means it takes a picture when the LED flash is already turned off, and this of course results in a black picture where you see nothing at all. So they definitely need to work on the timing of the LED flash and the camera sensor with the next OTA update. Next, let's check out how well the phone does with landscape shots. Now, those three pictures, this one, and this one, have all been taken with very bad weather and those very mediocre lighting conditions, so there wasn't much sunlight available, very dull, really not nice. And as you can see, it really doesn't like such circumstances. The pictures again show quite a lot of noise and a really low amount of detail, not impressive at all. I mean, it looks okay if you don't zoom in, but as soon as you zoom in, pictures just don't look good. And this means that when watching the pictures on a huge screen, for example on a television with 40 or 50 inches or something like that, especially with high resolution like 4K, they just won't look good. But on a normal screen they are okay. Colors look pretty decent. So yeah, this one too, quite a lot of noise and not that much detail. But with good lighting it gets a little better. Still not perfect, but the amount of noise then is reduced. Here more sunlight was available, but still no clear sky. But as you can see, the amount of detail got better and also the noise amount is less now. This one, by the way, has been taken in HDR mode and this one in normal mode. And this one as well shows more detail and not as much noise, but still pictures aren't very crisp and sharp under any circumstances, no matter if you have great light or mediocre light. What the phone performs fairly good in though is close-up and macro shots, and that even at mediocre lighting conditions. This picture has been taken under the same lighting conditions as the first landscape shots I showed you, and as you can see they came out pretty good. Colors look decent, contrast is nice, and the amount of noise is okay, still acceptable. There's some noise, but it's acceptable. But overall I don't have really anything to complain about there. Amount of detail is good, not most perfect one, but it is good. Also this picture came out nice with natural colors. This one from a little greater distance looks pretty detailed as well. This is a try using the bokeh mode, but as you can see, due to it only drawing an unsharp circle, it doesn't look as good as from a phone with a re-bokeh mode that does edge detection and is able to recognize, for example, those yellow flowers and don't draw them unsharp like the Maze Alpha does there. This is another try using the bokeh mode. So as you can see, you can get halfway decent results if you use it the right way, but it doesn't look perfect. Another close-up shot under the same lighting conditions as before. Still does look decent. The amount of detail is pretty good on this one. Those two pictures, by the way, have been taken with quite a lot of wind, so the flower was moving, yet it still came out pretty sharp. So capturing moving objects isn't a problem with the Maze Alpha. And this one has been shot on pretty good lighting conditions, and this one came out really crisp and sharp. Nothing to complain about there. And those pictures too, the water drops. Oh, with this, not too bad. Some grass, also with water drops. This is one picture where detail counts, so to look good it really needs a proper amount of detail, and this is what the Maze Alpha did. So it does perform pretty good with close-up and macro shots. The front Sony camera does a fairly okay job considering the price tag and the specs this phone boasts at the price tag. It's not a perfect selfie camera, but it's usable. This one has been taken with very mediocre lighting conditions, and it does lack a bit of detail, but it looks pretty good overall. The amount of noise is fairly low, which is decent. And this one has been taken with better lighting, as you can see. It shows much more detail, really not bad at all. Look at the fabric, looks really good. Yeah, not the worst front camera I have seen on a Chinese phone yet. Next, let's check out video quality, and we start with the front camera. And this one sadly can only record videos with a maximum resolution of 480p, which really isn't much. So let's check out how videos look. So as you can see, not much detail at all, also a little bit of noise in there, so front camera videos don't look too good. So let's check out how the rear camera does, which can record videos with up to 1080p. Yeah, also lacks a bit of detail, but video looks halfway smooth. Colors are okay, but overall it looks a little bit mushy. But this obviously gets better when you come closer to the object you are recording. So as you can see, amount of detail now got a lot better. And it also supports autofocus, continuous autofocus, so you don't always need to tap on the screen to get your picture sharp, which is good. What it doesn't support is electronic image stabilization, so it looks a bit shaky, but that's something most probably can live without. So let's play this video sample in a native resolution to check the real quality out. This is a video recording test using the main camera of the Maze Alpha. So that's it for the camera sample about the Maze Alpha. So as you have been able to see, the Maze Alpha for sure is not a camera phone, but the cameras are also not a total failure. The dual camera feature is a bit disappointing. It performs okay with close-ups, macro shots, and halfway decent with landscape shots under good sunlight, but it really needs a decent amount of light to generate good pictures. Videos do look okay, definitely not perfect, but okay. I like the fact that it has continuous autofocus. Front camera takes halfway decent pictures, but sucks when recording videos, and well, that's about it. Thanks for watching this video, and see you soon with the full review about the Maze Alpha.